All over Kirklees during the winter, lots of families and individuals have been really struggling with the cost of living. Every day having to make really impossible choices about whether to put the heating on or whether to feed their families. It was just a real struggle for people. And community groups, community organisations, community centres and churches, faith groups, they saw this happening all around them and they really wanted to help. But they were struggling as well because their cost of living prices were going up, the heating costs were going up, and it was hard for them to heat their buildings. So at Third Sector Leaders, we talked to some of these community centres at our community buildings network, and they told us how they wanted to help and what they were struggling with. So we were able to get some funding, and that enabled us to support some of these organisations. And you know, these community groups, they really stepped up. They threw their doors open, they welcomed people in, they provided hot food and hot drinks, and that was really important, and it was a lifeline for a lot of people.
I think it is a real concern when you have residents coming in and saying they are struggling to eat, they are skipping meals because they've got someone elderly in the family or that they've got dependents they need to feed.
We've had a big response for it. I personally was surprised how many people wanted it. We had a lot of people at takeaways, and a lot of people came in that we haven't seen before, that came and sat and had a meal and really enjoyed it.
We have provided a warm space, refreshments and activities. The activities have been linked to help regulate anxiety, mood and well-being. A lot of the residents that have attended have said that they've felt socially isolated. They've come here, they've made friends. A lot of them are in regular contact with each other.
Currently on a Wednesday, every morning we have Warm Welcome Wednesday. In September last year we launched a crafting group which runs every Friday morning. Today, for example, we've got a Mindful Maker in, and we're going to be doing some mandala stones. And it's just a really lovely way in which people can come together, enjoy free drinks, some snacks, socialise, do something creative, mindfulness, and it's been really successful.
There were some groups who really wanted to help and support people, but they didn't have their own venue. A good example of that was Serendipity, the creative writing group, who offer creative writing for well-being and to support people who are having mental health challenges. And they ran an event called Warming Words at Full Circle Cafe in Huddersfield, but also at the Crescent in Batley and at venues in Dewsbury as well.
So we tied in the Warming Words evenings with our creative writing. It was very successful actually. We had a lot of interest.
Across the 4 nights that we did, we probably served 240 people with food. Much of the thinking behind turning it into a kind of an evening event was to move it away from being from it poor people coming for a handout, and it was about turning it into something where it was a two-way process.
So all these activities and sessions that were taking place across Kirklees were also a fantastic opportunity to get practical support out to people. So things like hats and gloves and scarves that we were able to source and give those to the community groups, and they were able to give them to people who needed them, along with helpful advice about the best way to use NHS services during the winter. Having these, the support of the community groups to get that stuff out and information out to people was really vital. And the benefits went way beyond providing hot food. People talked about what a difference it had made to their lives. They'd got something meaningful, a meaningful activity to take part in.
People quite often say that when they've been here they go away feeling more content or happier, or they feel that they've accessed something that's really positive for them as individuals.
It's about, for us, about building communities, stronger, safer communities, so people, feel welcome, feel safe.
So people have felt much better connected with others and have got something that they can continue to go along to and that they can enjoy. And the benefits to mental health and well-being and just health generally have been enormous.